In this video, we'll look at parallel and perpendicular lines when we're dealing with coordinate geometry. This question we're told P is the line 2x minus y plus 14 is equal to 0, and the line Q contains this point and is parallel to P. So the first thing you have to think, what knowledge do I need? Well, it's parallel to P, so same slope. Up above I have the product of the slopes being minus 1 for perpendicular slopes. So same slope, so we need to get the slope of this line. So the second piece of knowledge is that when we write an equation in the form y is equal to mx plus c, where y is on its own on the left, the number in front of x, or the coefficient of x, m, is equal to your slope. If you don't know that, you can't do the question. So up above, all I need to do is move y to the right to make it positive, but I'm going to write it on the left. Y is equal to, I've left 2x plus 14 on its own. So the slope of this line is 2. And if we have a slope and a point, we're given the point, minus 1, 2. We have our slope and our point. We use the equation y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1 to get the equation. So y minus 2 is equal to 2, my slope, times x minus 1, which you will always write as plus 1. Take your time simplifying it. Y minus 2 is equal to 2x plus 2. If x is positive at this point, I just bring everything across to meet x. 2x minus y. We're going to have a minus 2 and a plus 2. So the minus 2 will become a plus 2. 2 and 2 is 4. 2x minus y plus 4 is equal to 0 is the equation of Q. So question 2, this time perpendicular. We're given the point in K, contains 2, perpendicular to L. We're given L, so we know we need the slope of L. So the slope of L, I bring the y to the right and the 2 to the left, so I got x plus 2 is equal to y. But just keep the y on the left, y is equal to x plus 2. So the slope here, what number is in front of x? X is 1x, so slope is 1. And if you're not sure of what the other slope is, just put the fraction over 1 and turn it upside down and change the sign, and we're going to get minus 1 over 1. And you'll see if you multiply 1 over 1 by minus 1 over 1, the product, as I mentioned at the beginning, is equal to minus 1. So you guys have seen this 3 over 4. That perpendicular slope will be turned upside down and change the sign. Minus 4 over 3. Turn it upside down and change the sign. They'll always be equal to minus 1 when you multiply them. So the equation of K, y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. We have our point 2, 2, and we have our slope of minus 1. So y minus 2 is equal to minus 1 times x minus 2. Y minus 2 is equal to minus x plus 2. This is just repetition at this point. The keys to these questions are the little bit of knowledge at the start, and then they become easy. So bring x to the left, we have x plus y, and we also have a minus 2, and bringing a plus 2 over will make minus 2 minus 4 is equal to 0. In question 3, we're given 2 points, and we're asked to find the equation of the perpendicular bisector of AB. We'll just do a little sketch here. We'll call this one A and this one B. The perpendicular bisector, what does it do? It goes through the middle of it, and it's perpendicular. So the middle of AB is the midpoint. So we haven't seen that before in these longer questions, but you asked to get the midpoint as the point on AB. We haven't been given the point in the last 2 questions. It contained the point. So the midpoint of AB, I've always told you to write them out one above the other. How do we get the midpoint? We add them together to get 4 and 0, and then we divide them by 2 to get 2 and 0, and this is my point on AB. This is this point here. So now, what else do I need? I need the slope of AB. So, is it positive or negative? Well, let's just do a quick sketch of where the points might be. Minus 1, 4 will be up here somewhere, and 5 minus 4 will be down here somewhere. So you can see this is definitely negative slope. So now we can just say changing y over changing x with a negative in front of it. Changing y from minus 4 to 4 is 8. And the change in x from 5 to -1, or from -1 to 5 is 6. -8 over 6 is -4 over 3. So my perpendicular slope, I need the slope of this line here. We have the slope of this line. So I turn it upside down. The perpendicular slope is equal to 3 over 4. And I have my point up above of 2, 0. And now I'm back to just using the equation of a line. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Y minus y0 is equal to 3 over 4 times x minus 2. Multiplying both sides by 4, I get 4y, and the right hand side by 3, 3x minus 6. So 3x minus 4y minus 6, if they're all on the same side, equals 0. So equation of a line through a point that also passes through a point of intersection of two lines. So we have two lines that are crossing, and there's a line that goes through this point, and let's say this point here just for ease of diagram. So there's a line going through a point and a point of intersection. So the first thing we need is the point of intersection. We have the second point, and to get the equation of a line we need the slope and a point. So we'll have the second point, and then we just need to get the slope with the first point here, the 1, 0 on the second point. So what are we going to do to create simultaneous equations that will solve? So I'm going to write, first of all, just bring the numbers to the right, and I've got 2x minus y equals minus 6. Now I can see if I multiply this one by 3, I'm going to get minus 3y. So 6x minus 3y is equal to minus 18. So you're looking at the question, you're trying to figure out what's the easiest way to do it. So I've got 16x, and you can see here straight away your brain is saying, well, minus 16, this is working out for me. It's not going to equal to minus 7, which would be really awkward, and they're normally whole numbers in these questions. So x is minus 1 here. So putting x into any of the equations, 10 by minus 1 is minus 10, plus 3y is equal to 2. So 3y is 12. So you can see that y is going to be 2 plus 10, or 12 divided by 3, which is 4. You could see it up here, 2 plus 10 divided by 3 is 4. You could jump to this line at this stage if you wish. So the point of intersection is minus 1, 4. We have our other point, 1, 0. And now we need the equation of this line here. So the slope, just plot the points just to check are they negative or positive. Minus 1, 4, approximately 1, 0. So you can see here a negative slope. So it's a negative. Change in y is 4, and change in x from minus 1 to 1 is 2, which is equal to minus 2. And I have my points up above, so I can use any of them. I know you get a bit bored with writing down y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1, but in an exam you'd probably most likely only have to do it once. That's why repeating it here is key. So we'll use the point with 0, it's always easier. So y minus 0, or just y, is equal to minus 2 times x minus 1. So y is equal to minus 2x plus 2, and if x is negative there, I'll bring it to the left. Y plus 2x minus 2 is equal to 0. Or just to be fully neat and tidy, 2x plus y minus 2 is equal to 0. And before you ask, no, you will not lose marks for the top one. Both are fully correct, but we just have a habit to write y after x, as it's the same in the alphabet. Okay, let's finish with this question. Find the equation of the line joining the origin to the midpoint of the line joining these two. So we need the midpoint of AB. We have a 3, a 2, and a 5, and a minus 1. So you've got an 8, add, divide by 2. We have an 8, and 2 minus 1 is 1. So we have 4 and 1 over 2. That's the midpoint. So we have the origin. Easy to find the slope if we have the origin. And we have a point. I'm going to deliberately draw it off scale here, but this is the point 4.5. So the slope here, we have a 4 and we have a half. So you can see it's positive. Change in y, the rise over the run over x, and a half divided by 4 is an 8. And we have the point 0, 0 on the line. So if we use the point 0, 0, instead of writing y minus 0 is equal to 1 over 8 times x minus 0, because you know the x's have no values, you'll just start with y is equal to 1 over, not minus, y is equal to 1 over 8x. So 8y equals x. So x minus 8y is equal to 0. So a little bit easier than it seemed.